I'm Corey Benhart, your Philadelphia suburb realtor, and today we're going to go over some of the best and worst things about some of the towns within the Philadelphia metro area. Some of these towns are very popular and well known, while others are a bit of a hidden gem and not many people know about them. So make sure to stick till the end so you can use this full video as a detailed guide when you're thinking about moving to the suburbs of Philadelphia. All right, let's get started. And in no specific order, we're starting out with Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Lansdale is such an amazing town. The location of Lansdale is extremely desirable because it is only about 30 to 40 minutes outside of Center City, Philadelphia. Lansdale is located right off of Route 309, which will take you directly into Center City, Philadelphia. Lansdale has seen tremendous growth with the number of people moving to Lansdale, along with the number of restaurants, breweries, overall businesses as a whole. Another great thing about Lansdale is the cost of living is relatively low compared to some of the towns that we'll be going over later in this video, and also some towns that are right in the Lansdale area. Overall, Lansdale has a very charming downtown area with tons of events and concerts. It almost seems like Lansdale has a concert or block party or some sort of event almost every weekend during the warmer months. So if you love to be a part of your town and you want to be in an area that really takes pride in their community, Lansdale might be a great option for you. Moving over to the negatives of Lansdale, some areas within Lansdale are becoming too crowded just because of all of the new homes that are being built in the Lansdale area. Because of all the new people and the new businesses and homes that are being built and brought into Lansdale, that also kind of results in a competitive real estate market because of so many people wanting to live within the Lansdale area, mixed with the relatively low cost of living and cost of housing in the Lansdale area. Another negative of Lansdale could be the amount of traffic that you'll see in and around the Lansdale area right around rush hour, because as I said, you are right off of 309, which is a major road pretty much going all throughout PA. And also, since there are so many new people and new homes coming to this area, that will result in more and more traffic as more people move to the Lansdale area. The next town that we have is King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. King of Prussia is home to the King of Prussia Mall, which is the third largest mall in the entire country. So depending on your preference, it could be a good or bad thing because King of Prussia does feel more like a small city as opposed to an actual suburb, just because of the amount of people and the amount of traffic right around the mall in King of Prussia. Because of the mall, that does result in lower property taxes for the residents of King of Prussia, which is a great thing. If you love shopping and amazing restaurants, King of Prussia could definitely be a great option for you. When it comes to buying a home in the King of Prussia area, you'll notice that the King of Prussia housing market is pretty competitive, but the good thing is that you will end up getting a lot more bang for your buck in a home within King of Prussia as opposed to some of the other areas, because I've noticed that you do get more square footage for relatively low cost in the King of Prussia area. The negative of King of Prussia, you'll find that it could be a bit overwhelming just because of the amount of traffic and the amount of people that King of Prussia Mall does attract to the area. You'll notice that obviously only a small majority of people that actually live in the King of Prussia area are in and around that center mall type area, as opposed to people coming from all throughout Pennsylvania, all different states. I've actually heard of people coming in from different countries to visit this mall on and around the Black Friday holiday. Next up on our list, we have Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Doylestown is an amazing town. It's very historic. Doylestown is home to the Bucks County Courthouse, which obviously brings in a lot of people each and every week, which kind of keeps the local economy within Doylestown afloat because of all of the different local shopping and dining options right around the center or the heart of Doylestown. When you're in downtown Doylestown, the walkability is amazing. You can pretty much park wherever you'd like and walk and get to anywhere within that downtown area. Another pro for Doylestown is the location, because you're only about an hour or less to Center City, Philadelphia, and you're less than 2 hours to New York City and the New Jersey beach. Doylestown has a great mix of historic homes and also new construction. The downtown area is full of mom and pop locally owned restaurants and businesses. So this may be a rumor, but I've heard that in Doylestown a couple years back, a large chain, I'm not going to mention which chain it was, tried to open up a storefront within the center of Doylestown, and the Doylestown and the surrounding residents actually boycotted that business because they want to keep it locally owned mom and pop shops all throughout the heart of Doylestown. Again, this could just be a rumor or it could be true. I'm not exactly sure, but that is what I've heard, which I believe is a great thing because that really shows a true sense of community and pride for the Doylestown area. Doylestown has tons of historic, beautiful buildings, and Doylestown has tons of history as well, such as the Mercer Museum, which dates back to 1856, and the Fonthill Castle, which was the home of Henry Mercer, along with multiple other different historic buildings all throughout the downtown Doylestown area. Some negatives of Doylestown is the cost of living. It can be a bit higher cost of living compared to some of the areas around Doylestown. Since Doylestown is so very well known and very desired, that does raise the housing cost in Doylestown. So if you're planning on buying a home in Doylestown, it is on the higher end of the average sales price of a home in that area. Another negative of Doylestown is that you are going to have to drive if you want to get to a national retailer or a national restaurant or chain restaurant, as opposed to all of the different mom and pop shops, restaurants, galleries, coffee shops, breweries, and even grocery stores that they have in the heart of Doylestown. Next on our list, we have Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is one of the more very well-known areas on our list. Some positives of Westchester is there is always tons to do, including a great variety of shops, restaurants, festivals, breweries. Westchester is home to Westchester University, which is a very highly ranked school in our local area. Westchester has a great balance between a small town feel, but also wide open space with great local parks all throughout the Westchester area. Some of the cons of Westchester is that it can feel a bit crowded due to all the people that the university attracts. The housing cost in Westchester can be a little bit higher compared to some of the other suburbs because of the university, the overall desirability of Westchester, and overall everything that the town offers to the residents of Westchester. Next on our list, we have Souderton, Pennsylvania. Souderton, in my opinion, is one of the best towns in all of Pennsylvania. I know I say that about a lot of towns, but truthfully, Souderton is such a bit of a hidden gem. There's truthfully not really much to do in Souderton, but the one main strip that they do have is full of some great new and upcoming restaurants, breweries, and shopping locations. But also, Souderton just oozes with that community feel. The residents of Souderton really do just love their community, and you'll find that a lot of people are really happy to share all about everything that they love about Souderton. Souderton is becoming more popular because of the relatively low cost of living. Souderton has a great mix of older homes, but also some great, beautiful new construction homes as well. Souderton is also very close to 309, just like the Lansdale area, where you can jump on 309 and get to pretty much anywhere that you would need to go. The center of Souderton is very walkable with plenty of shopping and dining options. Although the center of Souderton is a bit smaller, you will find that it is relatively new and upcoming as more and more new businesses and more new homes come to this area. The first con of Souderton is that the center of town is pretty small and it is made up of really only one street. Souderton is starting to get more of an influx of nationally known businesses that are moving into Souderton, which could be a good or bad thing depending on your preference. And although Souderton is very close to some other very great towns with a lot more to do than Souderton, you'll find that you will run out of things to do. Next on our list is Newtown, Pennsylvania. Newtown is only about 30 minutes to Center City, Philadelphia, so you'll be very close to enjoy the nightlife, the restaurants, the museums, and just about everything else that a major city has to offer. The main street in Newtown is lined with all different types of shops. Once you're in town, it is very walkable. If you live outside of the downtown area in Newtown, you will need a car as it is not very walkable, and you'll need to drive to just about everything that you'll need. Newtown is located very close to Tyler State Park. The park has over 1,700 acres of trails, and you'll find that a lot of people actually opt to buy a home in Newtown so that they're close to Tyler State Park and very close to everything that the park offers, from bike paths, hiking paths, running trails, and everything else that you can imagine that a large state park has to offer. If you love the outdoors and want to be close to an amazing park, I would definitely suggest looking into Newtown, Pennsylvania. The first negative of Newtown, as this might actually be a pro or a con depending on your preference, is that Newtown is a very quiet area with very little nightlife. But like I mentioned on the pros, you are only about a half hour to Center City, Philadelphia. So if being close to nightlife is very important to you, you could still live in Newtown while still being relatively close to all the nightlife that you could really imagine in Center City, Philadelphia. You'll also find that Newtown has a relatively high cost of living, and the homes in Newtown are a bit more expensive compared to some of the other suburbs in the area. Next up, we have New Hope, Pennsylvania. New Hope is a very popular and well-known town. New Hope is actually a riverfront town right off of the Delaware River, which is the divider between Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So there are a lot of different water sports and water activities to do right there on the Delaware River. Plus there are tons of hiking and running paths all around the Delaware River. One of my favorite things about New Hope is the street artists that you'll occasionally see right in the downtown New Hope area. New Hope is known as a very creative town full of artists, actors, and musicians. Another positive about New Hope is the location. New Hope is just a short drive to New York City, Philadelphia, and the New Jersey beach. Now, on the other hand, there are some negatives about New Hope, and the downtown area can become pretty crowded because of all of the different shops and things to do in the New Hope area, which attracts a lot of different tourists. The housing costs in New Hope are very, very high because of how desirable New Hope is, but you also find that a lot of people that live in the surrounding major cities will buy a home in New Hope to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, which then drives prices up significantly. The housing in New Hope ranges from a couple $100,000 to multi-millions for a brand new home right on the river. That sums up our list for some of the towns within the Philadelphia suburbs. If you want to know much more about the suburbs, click this playlist here. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear from you down below. And until then, I will see you on another video.